Todd.
I guess.
Alright, well, big news. Todd here went and found himself a nice new jet boat. So we're on our way to pick it up and then take it fishing because ice is not coming our way. So we saw lots of open water and we're going to take advantage of it. So yeah, we're going to swing over to high country here, kind of give you a quick little tour while it's in the lot, and then we're going to boogie on out and hopefully get some fish. So stick with us, we'll be right back. I'm just glad I did the wider bottom.
It makes so much difference to have an extra foot of bottom width. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And the guys did a good job of fitting your oversized batteries in there.
Yeah, I mean, they made it work.
Yeah, I'm really excited for you to get the lithiums in here, and that will be wonderful to have the lightweight lithiums. Those are a temporary solution. It makes for an awful lot of battery weight in the back of a small boat, but like we say, we're waiting till next week when the lithiums arrive. So
that'll be good. And my charger doesn't even arrive till next week anyhow. So.
Oh, perfect. So the timing will work. And you do have a charger that is connected to those that is a regular lead acid charger, so you are set up and equipped.
Okay.
That charger was already in the boat.
Yep.
So
the 2 banks. So.
yeah, this was that fitting we talked about, and it's, as you can see, it's got white lithium grease. This is where the carrier bearing is. It's basically a bronze bushing that is what the it serves as a bearing for the impeller. And when you grease this, you are not greasing it for it to operate in the water. It actually sloughs the grease in the water. You are greasing it so that it doesn't corrode when you're storing this out of the water. So we talked about this a bit anyway, and I just wanted to make sure you were aware. And what you do is when you put your fitting on here as you pump it, it will eventually pump some grease out this end of the tube, and that lets you know it made the full circuit around that bearing.
It seals itself technically. So.
And it seals itself with the grease, yes. And like you see that white lithium grease, in our industry, most of us have stopped using the axle grease that puts a sheen on the water and have started using food grade lithium grease. It's that nice modern step to doing a little cleaner job.
Definitely.
Just so you can see it, we didn't do this earlier, but I would like to show you what the impeller looks like and what things you can look for if you happen to run into some rocks and things. That's part of what happens with the jet sometimes.
I like how these, even though they're jets, still are equipped with a tiller, which is nice. We're just checking things.
You can look right in and see your impeller. You can see the leading edges, so you can tell if it's been chipped on rocks and things. So really what you have here, you have a 40 horsepower vacuum cleaner. And so rocks the size of marbles suck up pretty easily. And that's why the grate is to filter out the larger rocks, obviously.
Yeah.
And eventually you will hit enough stuff that you'll start bending these. These are replaceable. Jets are running in that unnaturally shallow water, and that sometimes can happen that you might clip something. That's why they are serviceable. You can replace them, or you can pull them out and straighten them if you're in the field or something.
Yep. Because I have heard about the impellers, like they can replace them or sometimes work on them a bit too.
Yes, and there are trick impellers out there, just like there are trick propellers for regular boats. Mercury comes standard with a stainless steel impeller, which is really nice. It's heavy, so it takes a bit of oomph to get it spinning, but by golly, its ability to resist rocks and things like that is way higher than an aluminum impeller.
Yep.
If you do happen to get into weeds, which from times you will, what most people get is one of those little garden trowels that their mother has, and use one of those little garden trowels to just rake the weeds off of here. But we had that discussion the other day. The best thing you can do for weeds is never idle in weedy areas. When you're up on plane, it sloughs on its own. When you idle, don't idle in weedy areas because that'll suck it up on there. Okay. Just restart it when you're in a weedy area. That should take care of most weed situations. There's times where it's a thick mat and you just avoid those. That you Don't get into terrible weedy situations if you can avoid it. I know you're planning to fish some pike though, which is likely to put you in some weedy situations.
It'll happen. Ducks, they like the weeds too. So.
The sponsons is to help counteract all the weight of the motor, yourself, the batteries, the fuel. If for some reason you had no batteries in this boat, you were doing, you were taking electronics off and doing a non-electric trip or something, there are times, I've never had it happen myself, but I've been told about it happening, when you remove too much weight, then the sponsons lift the back end more than you need, making it possible to cavitate. So,
it sucks some air there.
in the event that you have no batteries or just one small battery and you've really pulled the weight out of this boat, or you have really heavy weight in the bow, you may need to take the sponsons off because you won't need the lift. And they're easily removable and they fit into a welded clip down below.
Cracking on the bottom, yep.
So I've never had to do that, and I doubt that you'll ever have to do that, but it is a possibility.
Yep, yep. I can see that. Get too nose heavy.
You'll notice where the guys have mounted your transducer, it's on a sliding bracket, so that transducer can be dropped deeper. They tend to air a little bit high to start.
Especially for a jet boat, I could understand that.
Exactly, yeah. And so, as you see, there's some slots on the bracket that you can slide that deeper progressively until it starts to throw too much water.
Okay.
And it's one of those, it's one of those fine line. How much water do you want it to throw? Versus, you can take it high enough that there's no water coming off of it, but then it doesn't give readings at speed. And so you kind of have to tinker with that as an art, not a science, because it will depend on how you load the boat.
Yep, I can see that too.
And these are those poor man's trim tabs I was telling you about.
Yep.
Those two flaps. If for some reason you have issues with bow bounce, which ties down to load and so forth, but you know, if you're on a hunt and you've overloaded the boat a little bit because you got a big game critter in here or something, it might be necessary to bend those down just ever so slightly to help bring the nose down.
Okay.
Again, because of the sponsons and such, that's generally not an issue. That's a problem-solving device in case. Because you don't have the range of trim to control your bow like you do on a prop boat. On a jet boat, you're going to drive it clear tucked all the time. You're maybe a couple degrees. You just don't do much trimming with a outboard jet.
Right.
So, and again, this is the spray deflector that keeps from having water fly up, because this lower unit is not as slick. It's not a sleek hydrodynamic thing like what's on a prop outboard. This has some mass that ends up spraying some water, and that deflector will minimize that for you.
Awesome.
This is that tiller handle that I keep bragging about, that I'm jealous because I don't have the new version. It's super long, so you can run it from inside the boat. All the functions are here. Your shifting, start and stop.
Kill switch.
Ability to change your RPMs slightly, though you won't be trolling.
Yep, and it's got the trim on the front.
Trim is on the tip here. This also has the kill switch, and this is a backup. If you happen to lose your kill lanyard, this is another fitting that you can use there just for that day to finish out your day so that it will still run.
You get safety piece, you never know.
Well, you know, the last thing you want to be is in somewhere on a river, nowhere near a boat ramp, and you can't start your motor because of some missing piece. Who knows if you have a kid along and this gets left in a trail that you went hiking, or who knows?
Your dog grabbed it.
Yeah, you never know. So there's a built-in one there. This handle is fully adjustable in 4 directions. You can see here where it's fairly easy that this is simply screwed up or down. They've got it down so that this will be a little more level, but you can raise that. If you're always standing to drive, you can raise that. It also has some tick marks here for the angles to the sides. Be aware that when you move it to the side, it makes it unusual to drive, because we are all accustomed to having a straight handle. Even if it's off the side, we are accustomed to this all working straight out the back. When you cock the handle, it's now I've done it once, it was a weird sensation, I went back to straight. Nice thing about this handle is it does have built-in diagnostics. So if you hear an alarm go off in this engine, a light will light up to tell you if you're overheating or if you're low oil or whatever it happens to be. Not every single code is in here, but it has the typical things that people do. Overheated engine because we didn't have our impeller, or we got into the weeds or whatever. That or low oil because we didn't check. And I don't foresee you doing those things, but this is your safety valve to let you know why the alarm went off.
Yep. Nice feature.
It is a nice feature. Neat thing about this is a 40 jet, but it's built on a 60 power head, and it's a 4-cylinder. And traditionally, most of our mid-range outboards have been 3 cylinders. I personally own the 60 on my own personal boat. I love the 4 cylinders because it's smaller pistons, so they have less vibration. It has a much smoother running. A 4-cylinder is smoother than a 3-cylinder, and those smaller pistons have less mass being thrown around, so the vibration load is quite low on this. And like I was telling you, the reason I bought it is it has the best fuel economy of any mid-range engine I've ever seen tests on. And so I've been thrilled with that. And I think you will be as well, although jets are not soft on fuel because you tend to run them toward the higher end of the RPM band. Nothing that we're all going to work on in our engines nowadays, but I do want to show you underneath here.
Sure.
Mercury uses yellow for their oil fill. There's your oil fill here. It does have a small fuel filter here, and it is visual, so you can see if you're feeling some sort of issue with fuel delivery, you can look and see if there's crud in there, and it will be fairly easy to see. Need to show you your dipstick too.
Yep, right here.
Oh, wrong side. Yellow, just like the fill.
Yep.
Mercury loves using yellow. Spin-on oil filter, so it is fairly easy to do your own oil changes if you wanted to.
Yep. Well, these don't have like a little drain thing to them, but...
It has a drain here.
Okay, all the way at the bottom.
And the slick trick, I've watched the mechanics do this, the slick trick to keep this from going all over and getting all over everything else is you tape a garbage sack right here, and when you pop that out, it just fills the garbage sack, it doesn't get everywhere else, and it's already in a sack ready to be taken care of and disposed. Little tricks from seeing what the mechanics do.
Yeah.
I look over their shoulders, I want to see what they're doing.
Definitely.
And this is all fuel injected and so forth, so it will compensate for altitude. Oh, one of the neat things, instead of carrying the owner's manual everywhere with you for just in case, right here, they put all the pertinent information, which oil to use depending on temperature. If you were in, let's say you're in resume speed Wyoming and you need spark plugs, you can go to a Napa. The spark plugs are here. All of the various things that you would typically need to know are on here. Spark plug gap and all of that, so you don't have to have the manual with you all the time. Just a handy little thing.
Yep,
A cheat sheet. So I make darn sure to multiple check to make sure I'm never going to leave one along a freeway somewhere. That is, yeah, that's to lock it up, which you'll never need to do because you have nothing sticking down below your axle. So you'll tow with it in this position, which is the strongest position. We talked a little bit about it, but I'll just show you again. We have the tensioning for the steering. You can make it real loose if you want. I don't recommend that. I recommend that you run it fairly tight so that when you take your hand off, it doesn't actually steer. It stays where you left it. It also tows better this way, so it's not flopping behind you all the time.
Yep.
The fuel tank is vented. So you do need to open the vent when you're out there. When you're out there running, and if you all of a sudden you feel like you're running out of gas, well, you are. You've starved for gas because you didn't open the vent. So
air to it.
I've done that with a duck boat before.
Notice they have it set up on a quick disconnect. So with a quick disconnect for fuel, if you were going to make a multi-day journey into the Missouri Breaks or something, you can bring additional gas tanks with the same fitting and just plug and play tank after tank. Keep the other tanks for weight balance forward, And a person can make more of an excursionary boat out of this than what it was intended by the manufacturer. Most 16-foot boats aren't excursion boats for multiple days and multiple fuel tanks, but you never know.
You never know. Okay.
Part of the fun is going on these adventures.
Oh yeah, that's the idea with this boat too. I thought I seen one of these had the lights and such.
Oh, yes, this one has the bow light. Stern light is there, obviously. Bow light should be right here.
There it is.
Yeah. And there's a little holder for it there, too. It's usually a clip.
Oh,
There's
yeah,
the
there
clip.
is.
I feel the clip there. Oh, did you find the plugs in that?
I don't think they were in those ones. That's what I was kind of looking
Okay.
for next.
We'll get you some plugs here before you leave the lot.
That's kind of cute. It's got a little separator even for the
Yeah.
end.
Well, that way you can have a little mini contest. That is the valve. That valve can actually be important. If you have it all the way wide open, this thing's going to really be filling hard. And if you've got a lot of slosh, it can be sloshier than you want it to be. You can slow the fill, and then you won't have quite as much slosh.
Those are pretty common. But
Yeah, it's just a common valve. The on and off is back on the small panel here in the corner.
Yep.
Your nav lights are here, your bilge pump, your live well, all of that's on this small panel. Questions for me, things that you want to know more about this boat or about operation or something.
don't think so. I know we want a lot more than this. So
Yeah.
past that's pretty regular boat.
As an experienced boater, there isn't a whole lot of new tricky stuff to this other than the fact that it is a jet. And like I mentioned earlier, when you're doing the break-in, I highly recommend that you practice turns to feel at what point does it start to skid on you, at what point does it get washy, and all of those things, so you get a feel for that. But all of these others are called strakes, and those will give you, that gives you some directional control and keeps it from being so washy. Jets are by design washier than a prop boat, but those strakes helps give you some good directional control.
We are legends forged in fire. See our banner waving higher. Side by side we stand and fight. Freedom is the song that we sing as we march on. Left, right, left, right, left. Left, right, left, right, left. Left, right, left, right, left. Freedom is the song that we sing as we march on. We are comrades forged in fire. See our banner waving higher. Side by side we stand and fight. Freedom is the song that we sing as we march on.
I think I just seen it.
It's just a piece of fish.
Yeah, I just seen it. Where was I? Oh.
I haven't felt the head shakes like it's not yet. Oh yeah.
Pike?
Hi.
That's funny. You'll have fun with that. I'm breaking in the net and boat, so.
Perfect.
That doesn't count. You might have to retie.
Oh, definitely. Absolutely. Ah, you little bugger. Didn't want to do that.
Pull you out. Right, Cecil?
Yep. Barely boat flipping.
We have a fish in the boat. Yeah, that last one didn't count it. Well, okay.
5 minutes penalty.
Yeah, I had to put slime in the boat somehow. at how dark he is. It's cool.
Yeah. Pretty ones.
Oh, fishing the boat.
It's broken now.
Okay, let's go return it.
Didn't work. Don't like it.
I didn't get a 30-incher. And something was wrong.
Yeah, it wasn't a 3-inch wrap up this fast.
There you go. Got him. Big one? No. Oh, right.
Oh yeah, widow bugger. Ta-da!
Fish! Oh, I forgot to show off my little guy. Oh, I got one already looking at. Oh, I think they're piles of little ones.
Got a little attitude to you, apparently. See, I touched him, he pluck with his gill plates.
Just cast again.
There we go.
Is that how big he is? You're not even.
Oh, he's a little bit bigger. Just a touch bigger than the last one.
Just a touch bigger.
Oh, go on, get out. Boom. Okay, behave, fish, while I get the line out of your mouth. There you go. Oh, I thought we doubled.
You still there. Working
Yep.
is excellent.
Well, it's getting a little dark to see. We're gonna sign off, I guess. But congrats to Todd. Got his nice new jet boat. Hey, I can actually see you when I face it this way.
Yeah, probably off the sun.
Yeah. But congrats, buddy. We broke in the boat. Ron gave us a good talk. So we're gonna sign out. So thanks for tuning in,
Like and comment if you.
Oh, last minute talk.
I'm doing a YouTube talk. Like and comment if you fished the same day you bought your boat.
Yeah, let's go with that. I like that. Yeah, if you caught a fish on the same day you bought a boat, let us know with a like or a comment or both. And then if we're doing a good job, let us know with a subscription. We appreciate you guys, and we'll catch you later.